would like to, if you've never met him before, you may have, you may not, but I would like to introduce a very, very good friend of mine here, Dr. Samuel Conway, or Uncle Kage, as you might know him. Would you please come up to the stage? Oh, there he goes, downing his wine first. Would you please step to the stage, sir? Come on up here with me, would you? We would like to see you up there. Yay! You know what? I'm totally dry right now. Thank you.
Where's your glass?
I don't have a glass.
You have a glass?
I didn't.
You got a big glass!
That is a pretty huge glass.
It's a huge glass. This is like a German beer stein. I like when he makes those noises.
So now I gotta drink my water real fast so I can dump wine out.
It's way back there. What do I do?
I don't know. No, let's move these chairs for me.
No, we moved. Yes, move the chairs for me. Yes, move chairs. Okay.
Before we even.
What?
You know this isn't right.
Right. Wrong. Yes. Here we go. Okay. Yes. This is my right-hand man.
You know what usually happens at Eurofurence that we enjoy so much.
Yeah.
Is.
By the way, we should. Is it okay if we do this? We didn't actually ask permission or tell them we were.
No, we didn't really.
Because did you need the stage for anything between now and my show?
No.
I mean, no, not you guys. You guys in the back. This is important.
Yeah,
if you need us to get off the stage, we will. There's a whole lobby out there, so you just tell us. So, like, turn the lights off or something like that. But, I mean, hold this for me, would you please? Yes? Hold this, yes, excuse me. One moment. Ein minute.
It's like you peeing with prostate problems.
It's so slow!
Shake it a little bit. Shake it. Maybe it'll.
I'll squeeze it.
Think of something. Yeah, nasty. There you go.
What color is it, too?
Oh.
What color is this?
It is the color of suck.
You know, actually, I think it is. You know what? You know what this is?
What is that?
This is the color of Andre Opitz should be here.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah. Normally.
What the fuck is this?
Goody.
Sorry, am I allowed to say that? Look at this, you're a fuck.
Incoming.
It's, oh wait. It's a monster, what is that? Bum! That must be yours.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh.
Usually, what happens is I will do my show, then Kage does his show, then we get around here and screw off until you guys tell us to go home. But this time, there was some space in between, so I'm gonna do my show, and then we're gonna screw off.
Yeah.
Then he'll get up on stage and talk to you until you tell him to go home.
No.
That way I can go out and drink.
I can't, this guy is such a tough act to follow.
Oh, baloney. But see, all these people, they weren't even here for my, just like, these first three people in the audience, those are the only people that were here before you came in. Really?
This says, good day,
Kagemushisan.
It must be from a Japanese person.
Kagemushisan.
I may look just like an ordinary sheet of paper, but I am, in fact, an intelligent being from the planet A4, and I am currently copulating with your thumb.
Can't get it off.
Try blowing it. Well, thank you, invisible person throwing bags.
There's no way that could not be nasty. That's a great...
I don't know, but it's Europe. Incidentally, I want to apologize to two. Now,
You keep talking, I gotta get something.
You go talk. Where are you going?
I gotta get something.
He's got to pee.
No, I don't. I gotta get something. You keep talking.
There are some very, very generous folk out there. Again, neither Tu nor I are made of money. We wish we were. We may look American, but we're not. We're actually Canadian. Boy, that was great. I did this in the whole video. There were some people who very generously offered to donate a bit of money to bring Tu here. And we thank you all for that very much. Now, some of you may have noticed that Tu got in here at 30 the other night. The amount of money that was donated was only enough to get him the absolute worst airline flight that there was. It had 4 connections, and he got here like 3 days before he left the USA. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. because I'm the guy that handled the money. What else do we have? What is it? Jaffa cakes. It's biscuit sa vochnim zelom I kokovanum preventative. Oh, it's in Canadian. Oh, biscuit with fruit jelly covered with chocolate. You must be, this is nowhere near as fun as the Jagermeister flavored condoms you gave us that year. How many people were here for the Jagermeister flavored condoms? Let me hear you, I can't see out there. That was fun. I don't remember much of it. What is this? This is bum pocket drink. It doesn't look like a drink. Okay, we'll try some, I guess. How do you open this thing? I have a degree in science. I'll figure this out. German engineering.
Throw it in the floor.
Ah, got it. That's what it says. It says pocket drink.
Open it and drink it.
It's liquid, ready to drink.
Drink it.
I can't wait for him to come back.
Drink? No, you're gonna drink that.
Who said that? No, I can't drink it. I've got my drink.
You're gonna drink.
And I am not going to mix anything with this absolutely fine vintage that I'm enjoying here this evening. This is Müller-Thurgau, named after Dr.
Box wine.
No, it's see, look, Müller-Thurgau. Dr. Müller in Thurgau, Switzerland, came up with this grape variety and put it in this box just for me. So that's an interesting sound, isn't it? Can you hear that out there? No? Trust me, it's interesting. It sounds like the lobby about 2 a.m. Yeah, my door faces the lobby, I know. Okay, he's supposed to be here.
Who's supposed to be? What?
You! Wait, this disembodied voice is weirding me out. I don't know if it's him or if it's the devil. What's the difference?
I was always in your head. In fact, I've never been real. I've always been in your head, but only the head you imagine. I am Inception 2. I'm Inception Bird.
Shall we go knock down some bank buildings in Delaware now?
Yeah.
That's an American joke. You wouldn't get that. You need to try one of those. It's a bum drink. That's what it says. Wodka mix bitter lemon bum. And it says, Reiß mich auf. What's that mean?
Tear me open!
What?
Tear me open!
Tear me
Oh,
open.
that sounds kinky.
You know,
I often hear that at furry conventions.
there are some people who are using that.
Yeah, we know that sound.
Lately, if you guys haven't been to a convention in America, that's pretty much how they ask for sex.
Yeah, Reiß mich auf.
Bitch, tear me open now.
I wouldn't expect you to have ever heard that. What's it smell like?
Smells like limes.
Limes?
Yeah.
Well, bottoms up. How is it?
Disgusting.
Great! Roast! My box wine versus here's tear me open.
Oh. You know what it tastes like?
But that's good. That's what it tastes like. Let's hear it for Juther Ranting Gryphon.
It tastes like a lime otter pop with booze in it.
I wouldn't know.
You know what an otter pop is?
Yeah, I know what an otter pop is. I've had one in my mouth.
And you know what booze is?
Yes.
Then you'd know, wouldn't you? I'm gonna dump this in your wine.
Dude, no.
I'm going to interfere
actually,
with your box wine.
No. That is not box wine. It's wine in a box. There's a difference. Tani und Nightfox gave this to me, so it is obviously high class.
They just know that you need quantity over quality. Hey, it's true.
Then why did they give me such a small one?
Okay. Would you rather take over a convention? Would you rather have one glass of stupendously expensive, oh my God, wine, or an entire box of cheap-ass crap? What would you do?
Cheap ass crap.
I know it.
your nose.
What is the proofage on this?
The proofage?
35% alcohol.
Cheers.
Jesus, I finished it. That's like
Can you imagine?
nearly 70 proof.
You, I know, used to be a man who studied religion.
Yes,
Used to
I
be.
was.
Can you imagine
I still study it.
if Jesus had come to the world today and gone to a rave? It would have been like, he just would have been turning water into this stuff.
Yeah.
And he would have been like the most popular guy.
Oh, he'd have been turning water into ketamine.
Yeah.
That's what he'd been.
You know, he should have been here today. Boy, that could have been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that would have.
Now we need chemists for that.
Jesus, if Jesus ever comes down here again, he's gonna be like, okay, I have returned to see what the fuck did you do? What is this? I mean, Christianity isn't really Christianity anymore.
Well, it's kind of Christianity.
It's got some good values and morals,
Yeah.
but then at the same time, it's got some really crappy values and morals. So it's like kind of like everything else. I guess.
But I think that I have, and this is, I'm very, very sorry to say this, I'm extremely sorry to say this, I think that I actually have proof that God does not exist.
Oh, proof. Oh, I want to hear
Has
this.
anybody seen photos of Tani and Night Fox's wedding?
I have. I've seen the video, BBF.
Yeah.
I've seen the BBF video.
Who do you think was the priest who performed the ceremony?
Kage.
If a lightning bolt did not come down that evening and destroy me, God does not exist. If you're all very, very good and promise to buy me booze later, I might read you the Bible passage that I read.
Oh, you should.
I should.
You
From
should.
the book of Shnolf,
Yep.
chapter 28 and 29, verses 1 through 19.
Hey, you stole my. Hey, it's very, very good, but you still stole my shtick. I was the first one
Yes.
to make the furry out of Bible.
Yes.
Yep. The whole story of the first furries.
Of verse furries.
Yes.
These people, do you know the story?
I told them this story.
You told them?
I'm pretty sure.
When?
Did I tell you?
All right. If you have not heard the story from the Bible of the first furries, let me hear you. Someone needs to educate
holy
them.
crap! Because there are furries in the Bible. It's just that part was cut out.
But excuse me, there's some people here who don't speak English. You'll have to do it in German.
I can't do it in German. I would love to do it in German.
It would sound like Klingon sex.
What?
Go for it.
So we got, the first furries. And we had, basically what happened was that God created Adam. And God created the earth around Adam. And the earth was empty. And then God said, let there be stuff. And there was stuff.
Hallelujah.
And God saw that the stuff was good. And he created Adam. And Adam wandered around in the stuff. But Adam was lonely. He was a lonely man. And he talked to God and he said, God, I'm lonely. I'm lonely, God. And God said, what you talking about? I see you with them sheep. And he said, yeah, the sheep are fine. Warm. Fluffy. But I want something with big tits. So God took pity on Adam. And from the dust, he raised a form that would be more to Adam's liking. And it was a fox. Amen.
Amen.
And God gave the fox to Adam to make him his wife. And he named the fox Shaniqua. And Shaniqua and Adam were together. And God said, be fruitful and multiply. There's a Viagra tree over by the lake. And Shaniqua, and this is the way the story went, God went up to heaven and said, by the way, don't write any of this down. It wasn't written down. I only know it because I was a minister. I was a Christian minister. And God told me this directly.
Via the holy YouTube.
To my brain. the heavenly Twitter account. On it. So, at least I was before I was booted for being a scumbag. But
Only from 160 characters.
oh yes, yes. So, Shaniqua looked at Adam and said, "Ooh, I don't even think so." And she ran away.
Why did she say that?
Adam was lonely again. And he called. He called God. He said, "God, I'm lonely again." And he said, Where's the fox?" He said, "She ran away." So God went to look for the fox. And he found her, hiding in a cave. Long way off. And he came back to Adam and quickly, didn't know what to do. He'd already made the female. So he quickly took half of Adam's brain and created woman. And now, both of them there, each with only half a brain. And they said, "Hey, let's go eat some apples. Derp, derp, and then vote for Bush."
So, we're going to have to say, vote for the other guy, Romney now.
Vote for Palin.
Yeah, oh God.
And the red to the
Vote for
apples.
Romney. Yeah, so he ran off. God went off, found Shaniqua hiding in the cave. He said, "What you running away for?" He said, "Honey, your dick was tiny. I don't know if you're gonna be like some, like, let there be a microscope or something, but I don't even know what to do with that tiny thing." So, he took pity on Shaniqua, and he created there on the ground a fox, a male fox, for Shaniqua to love. And she said, "Ooh, that's what I'm talking about." And she went over to the fox, and the fox slowly opened his eyes and looked at Shaniqua, and he said, "Ew, boobies!"
Straight to the word of God, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what really happened right there.
Amen.
That's why there are no furries. The fox was gay, like so many foxes.
No, that's not true. That's a stereotype. I met a fox out. Well, no, wait.
How many foxes do we have in the room?
All right, foxes. Let's hear from you. I ran into
How
a
many of
fox.
those foxes are gay? The same fucking amount.
I had a run-in with a fox last night. Not that kind of run-in. I had a beautiful full glass of wine. Some of you were there. You saw this. You're witnesses, right? And this fox came up. He was all happy foxy. He had a straw. And he was like making little fox noises with the straw. He wanted some of Uncle Kage's wine.
Oh, he was being cute.
Yeah, oh, how cute.
Being
this
so
is.
cute for
It's
the
so cute.
fox.
I'll give him some of my wine. Okay, he put his straw in and went... all of it! In 1/2 second. Now, everyone knows that a fox can suck a golf ball through a garden hose. And I chased him all night long. So, after that, fox comes up, wants my wine on. No, you know why? Because foxes suck.
Yes. I know a lot of foxes. This is not a bad thing, but every fox I've known could suck the chrome off of a trailer hitch. That's just a fact.
Why do you think in Michigan all the trailer hitches are all bare?
Yes, exactly. Could suck the varnish off of a foot locker. That's...
By the way, everyone's getting these. These are very American.
Yeah, well, yeah, they are, but, I don't
You
know.
must remember that we're among foreigners now.
Well, I'm a straight fox. Take a picture.
Uh-oh. We have a straight fox in the audience.
Yeah, right. Raise your, who said that? Who said that? Raise your hand. Let me see. You are not straight.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Where are you from?
I'm from America, thank you.
Where at?
What part?
Let's not talk about that.
No, just like the state.
Give us a state.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay. And here you are. So, it's true he's straight, he only screws female animals.
Exactly. He only screws female sheep. That's it.
Yeah. Oh,
Am I still here? Hello?
you're there.
Yes,
You're there.
I'm having trouble hearing. I don't know why.
You're old.
This guy is going to be a problem. Americans. Last year, when I couldn't make it here because of all the drama got kicked up, I went back and looked at all the drama. Every single person who was starting and participating in the drama, they weren't Europeans, they weren't here, they were all Americans who've never even been to Eurofurence
Exactly.
and weren't even going to go.
In order to get him here, I actually had to, I asked for donations on a German message board in German.
So that Americans wouldn't go, wah!
There's no drama. I was explaining to these people, I said, and I have to apologize, the amount of money that we raised was only enough to get you that really shitty schedule that had you have 4 connections and got here like in the middle of the night.
I got to see a lot of the world.
You got to see a lot. You got to see Antarctica
I did.
and South Africa.
Reykjavik, Iceland is
Yeah.
a really cool place.
I still have money left over to get you to United Plus, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You know, I'm going to drink some more bum.
Drunk some bum.
I'm going to drink some bum.
Okay, hang on a minute. Close.
Here's God, we are really slumming tonight.
You
No.
drink one, you can't.
You're slumming.
You
I
got
have-
box wine.
That is not, it's wine in a box.
It's
There's
the
a
same
difference, I'm
damn
telling you.
thing.
This, no,
I could dump this in there, you wouldn't know the difference.
try it.
So,
Oh,
wait,
damn.
hang on.
You try that. That's actually pretty good.
Wow, it's the same.
Apologies to any French people in the audience.
It tastes the same. Oh my
I
God.
really, was there any flavor to that at all?
Yes, there is. You try it by itself.
It should try it. What's what we got?
It's actually here.
What are we gonna do?
Just go.
I'll fox it.
Try. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the taste of your wine just completely covered that up.
Did. Hey, bless you.
Thank you.
Wow. I'm gonna be seriously fucked up in the
Be
morning.
careful. Yeah, be careful with that.
Do you know what? You know, I'm reminded. My second, my third. One of the Eurofurence when I was young.
What's the German word for reminded?
Remind. What is remind? What's this remind in Deutsch?
Erinnern.
That. What happened to me? Okay.
You were now.
You see this? Okay. I'm gonna do this. Okay. This is about the right size. Actually, this is a little small. This is about the right size, but it's a little small.
Oh wow, this is like, you know, your penis pump.
No, it would be bigger. It would be bigger.
This
Anyway,
is fun.
I think, no, it was Eurofurence 10 in Orba. Eurofurence 10 in Orba. They started feeding me this. By the end of the evening, one, I forgot how to speak English.
Yes.
I was speaking French and couldn't stop, and no one understood me. At least I think it was French. But I thought it would be a good idea. To take a glass a little larger than this and fill with equal parts Jagermeister, red wine, and absinthe. The next morning, I was dead. I woke up, I had no pulse, I had no heartbeat, I was not breathing. For 3 days, I was dead. I decomposed halfway back to America.
And that's why he looks the way he does today.
Touché. I should not let myself open.
Have you ever clinically been dead yet? Because it will happen.
Okay? No. I have never been clinically dead.
I hope it doesn't ever happen, at least until, you know, the final last time.
Which I hope is no more than, like, 1,000 years from now.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you were dead.
I've been dead 3 times.
He's been dead 3
I'm
times.
clinically dead 3
He's got a
times.
zombie fetish.
I was just about, I swear to God, right before they brought me back, I was just filling out the Hellcon registration papers.
Yeah.
And then they zapped me right back. I was so pissed.
He never got to see Hellcon.
I didn't. I just got to see the line.
Yeah. What was the standards of conduct like? What at Hellcon are you not allowed to do?
Nothing.
You mean there's a blank piece of paper you signed?
Yeah.
That was great.
It's like, welcome to Hellcon. Sign here. That's it.
It's not like Eurofurence. They don't let you do anything here. You're not allowed to urinate off the balconies. You're not allowed to take your fursuit into the pool. You're not allowed to take your fursuit in the pool. You know why?
What?
Because 2 years ago, the manager of the hotel came to Cheetah with this giant 1 meter wide tribble. Said, I just took this out of the pool pump,
Yeah.
which is now burned out. It will cost 3,000 euros to fix. don't take your fursuit into the pool, please. Public
See,
service
what else
announcement.
aren't you allowed to do at Eurofurence? You're not allowed to kick the shit out of a British guy.
Well,
Found that out.
even though you should, you're not allowed to.
Hey,
Well, no, hey, look, we're Americans.
oh, people are clapping for that.
People would like to kick the shit out of the British. Vive la France! See, we did it once. No, we did it twice. Well, once, and then the second one was a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1812, that was a tie, right? Nobody
Yes.
won that one.
We did it once, but they were kind of on our turf. They deserved it that time.
Yeah, and that bit where they said that they burned our capital, they did, but we didn't like that capital.
No.
That capital sucked. We're like, let it
We
burn.
were about ready to redo the thing anyway.
Yeah.
We were about ready to remodel. The people were out
Yeah.
with the spackle, and then they burned it down. It's like, oh, saved us a lot of
Exactly.
problems.
We wanted
So,
the White House to be the charred house.
yes.
Yeah.
We wanted to be the gray house.
Yeah, it's going to be the Gray House.
Gray house.
You know, it's called the Fire Pit. It's going to be a mosh. It's going to be great. There's words of what's going on with the words.
That is.
I don't-
Have you not watched
No,
EF Prime?
that is EF Prime.
That's EF Prime.
That's EF Prime.
We're
Ladies
on
and gentlemen,
EF
EF
Prime.
Prime. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, EF Prime. Actually, I was sitting upstairs and I was watching EF Prime.
Yeah.
And I until I realized that, I wasn't going to be able to see myself on TV to see if I did a good show. I'd have to come down here.
But you know what? BBF could make that happen.
He probably could.
He could.
BBF is awesome.
He has the greatest line in all of history.
He does.
He spoke. BBF, now you all know BBF is a professional cameraman.
He is.
There was an incident at Anthropon with the media. An incident with the media. I was very, very worried. It turned out I was watching the news and everything was okay. Everybody's looking over here. What's going on over there? I was watching the news and everything turned out all right. I was afraid something was going to show up in the news that we really prefer doesn't show up on the news. One of those, remember? But BBF, he was sitting there with his beer. BBF likes American beer. It's one of his vices. He loves American beer. Remember that. He had like 40 Michelob Lights that day, which is the equivalent of 2 German beers. He was like, beer. He was in my room, I was watching the news, and I was all nervous, but BBF was criticizing. This is the worst cameraman. That cameraman should be fired. This is terrible. Look at what he has done. The lighting is flat, the background is wrong, and look, it's a frame. He's cut off your entire foreskin.
Well,
What?
then.
I looked at him, I said, what? He said, your foreskin. That's you cut off your foreskin. I said, well, I know that's an American thing, but still, dude, go back to school.
For those of you guys who don't know, foreskin is not part of your head.
It's part of your dick, okay?
Part of your dick.
I'm sorry, that ladies present.
Oh,
Ladies present.
I'm sorry. It's part of your penis.
It's part of your tallywhacker.
Part of your nether region.
Wait a minute. She's sitting next to a Frenchman and she has his hand on her knee.
Oh dear.
She hasn't had enough to drink.
Oh dear.
We could fix that.
Uh-oh. Box wine for the parents.
Should have go à la bonne santé.
Trillion? Yeah. I have a story about BBF.
You tell me what we do.
I have a BBF story. Because BBF is getting around lately. And I did not believe, I have told publicly that the Jedi do not exist. I have said publicly, I said it here, the Jedi do not exist. BBF proved me wrong. The Jedi do exist, and they're Germans.
Of course.
This is a fact. We were in Chicago at MFF. Now, I don't know how things work around here, but in the United States, there is a period of time where the bars close, and they will look to the minute. And when it is closing time, they will say, last call. Now, especially in a tough city like Chicago, when they say last call, it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, you can break a beer bottle over the darn counter and try and threaten them with it. They'll go, last call, you can't have any more booze. So, okay,
the
it's
wine
over.
evaporates.
It is actually, I think, not legal to serve booze after they say last call. Well, I'm sitting here at the bar with a friend over here. BBF is over here. The guy comes by, he takes our orders, and runs off. BBF is sitting right here. And the guy goes off, he ignores BBF. And he starts getting some stuff. He starts getting our drinks. While he's getting the drinks, they yell, "Last call." Oh, crap. So BBF is there, and the guy comes back to give us our drinks, and BBF says, "Well, can I have one?" And he said, "No, we called last, didn't you hear what we said? We just called last call, no more drinks." And he said, "But I was here the whole time, you ignored me." I said, "Sorry, pal, you know, I got a job to do here." And started walking off, and BBF said, "Stop." And the guy
He said, "Hi."
went, he said, "I want you to give me a beer." The guy turns around and looks at BBF. And BBF shakes his credit card at him and says, "You will not regret it." And the guy, like he's being forced by mind control, grabs a glass, puts it under the tap, and pours a fucking beer. He walks over to BBF, and he puts it on the counter in front of him. And BBF says, "Danke." He drinks the beer in one swallow, does a backflip, and disappears.
I know how. Germans have that power over Americans.
They do.
Okay, that
It's the sexy accent.
That it is. That unpleasantness we had back in the 1940s when we did not understand each other, we didn't win.
See, the thing about the unpleasant back in the 1940s, secretly, we kind of thought it was hot.
Yes. We were like, look at the uniforms.
Oh God, the uniforms. Of course, we can't say that. That's
No,
bad.
we can't say that. Not in our country. We can say it here.
But
the
actually,
accent.
here we might not be able. No, you're right. Shush.
But the accent. The German accent makes Americans into slaves.
Yes,
we will do anything. You say something to us, I mean, they come up and say, "Einen schönen Tag noch." Yes,
All you have to do to get an American to do anything, you be having a conversation. Hey, let me borrow your car. Let me borrow. No, I'm not going to let you borrow my car. I said, you let me borrow your car. Okay. They will do it.
And who can forget your first Eurofurence? The announcement. The Gryphon 2 will be shot in the courtyard in 5 minutes.
Will be shot in the courtyard. Because in a German accent, group photo sounds a lot like Gryphon 2.
Group photo.
Group photo. I thought he said Gryphon 2. I'm on the toilet. I was on the shitter. And the toilet. And the toilet.
Twilight.
The twilight. and taking a dump on the twilight. And I hear over there, this is back in the castle. And it came over the speaker. Achtung bitte.
Achtung bitte.
The Gryphon 2 will be shot in the courtyard in 5 minutes. And I got a boner. Got a boner. And right there on the toilet. Oh, wait, this is wrong.
It was that same year. The same thing kind of happened to me because I was out there and I was standing next to Cheetah, and Cheetah said to me, "All right, up against the wall."
Do you know what they did to America?
We automatically want to do what you say.
Somehow.
You could come up to me and say, "Geben Sie deine Wein," and I'd say, "Fuck you." But anything else?
You could have, see, the Germans, they did it wrong in the war. They could have just come up to us and said, "You will lose." And we would have gone, crap, and gone home.
They had a secret weapon they did not use.
They had several secret
If the Germans had come to the Americans and said, "Beer," we were like, "Come on!"
Okay, I read once that German soldiers during World War II got a ration of beer every day. If I found that out, I would have defected. I would have gone to the other side.
But here's the thing. Americans got a ration of chocolate.
Yes,
That was the war was about
That is
beer
true.
and chocolate.
Yep.
That was the problem.
Chocolate and cigarettes.
All right, I do want to point out here, we're making light of a terrible situation, but sometimes the only way to look at a terrible situation is by making light of it. We do not want to minimize anything that happened back then, but you know what? It does fascinate us as Americans that,
It happened and now we're friends.
yes, exactly. It happened and now we are friends.
Actually, one of the reasons it happens is because back in America, they're still kind of confused about that. It's like we come over here and it's like, hey, it's over, we're buds now, let's have some booze. Not so much over there, especially in certain parts of the South.
The South, yeah. But you know what? What being here at Eurofurence teaches me, I would like to think that in hopefully not too many years, I will sit down with an Al-Qaeda terrorist at a bar and I will say, do you remember when we didn't understand each other?
Hey,
Here's to that day.
actually, I have a story for you.
You're going to tell? That's my thing.
What time is it?
You have time.
I have time.
Tell me a story, Uncle Till.
Okay. It's along the same lines. That day may already be here.
Tell me.
Yes. Oh, Uncle Kage's Story Hour starts at 1800. See, there it is, right on the screen.
And if you start some time!
No, okay. Let's do a little experiment here. Just yell out. How many are Germans?
Deutsches!
Say How many French?
Français! Oui.
We. How many Australians? Aussie. Okay. How many Americans? How many
Canadians! Eh?
No Canadians here. How many from Finland or Norway?
Jesus Christ!
Now, that is split.
That's an army!
That's a lot of split things. A lot of different people just put up their hands.
Yes.
How many people like beer? Beer will unite the world. And here's how I know.
What?
I was on my way back from Anthrocon. I missed a flight voluntarily.
What?
Yes. I was in Chicago. I connected in Chicago. I had about an hour and a half to spill. So I
Wait, an hour and a half to what?
to spill.
To spill?
Yeah, just to waste. So I went to the bar. And
I gotta look that up. I'll be right back.
I ordered a beer. Next to me, after I start drinking my beer, this gentleman comes and sits down to me. He had a darker brown complexion. And he ordered from the bartender. Yes, I want the beer. Yeah, okay. And he gets it. And he turns to me and he says, so, you're American, yeah? I said, well, this is Chicago, yeah, I'm American. He started telling me about his life. He says, I am from Yemen. It's like, I am a Muslim, and he started describing the conditions. He started saying some crazy things, like, you know, this right here, this beer you see with the glass, you know, the cold, we don't have this in Yemen. You can't get cold. He says, in fact, they don't even have alcohol in Yemen. They cannot. I flew here to get the beer. And I'm talking with him. He says, so you Christian? I said, well, I used to be, but now I'm an atheist. He's like, this is fine. This is fine. He said, I understand, you know, this is the way things are now, and there's Muslims fighting Americans, fighting the Christians, fighting this and that. He said, but you and me, we are sitting here right now with a beer in our hand, and we are talking. He said, beer is what will make friends of us all. That's the real thing that happened. And I was so engrossed in talking to him that I looked at my watch like, oh, my flight's boarding. You know what? Fuck it. I would rather sit here with this guy and talk with him. And then I had to get on standby. That sucked. But, yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. Not much comedy in it, but it's a good story.
No, it doesn't. Comedy makes.
You know, if he started going down on me after that would be great.
What is comedy? Comedy gives people a good feeling.
Yes.
That story is just as good as comedy.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
because that's what we're all about. We are up here, the professional and the amateur, both of us together. What we do is we make you go out of here feeling a little bit better than you felt just coming in. And you want to know something? That's the same thing fursuiters do.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what furry is all about. There's someone, a reporter came to me at Anthrocon and said,
So what is all this about? What's this all about? Why do you do this?
Or if you're in England, what's all this then?
yes,
You know, yes.
yeah, or if you're in German, was ist?
Was?
Was machen Sie da? Or in French, que faites-vous? Or in Russian,
They're drunk.
I was going to answer with this,
Well, of course, furry is all about the, anthropomorphic animal.
no. Tony Ringtail, you know Tony Ringtail?
Yes, I do.
Tony Ringtail, he's a well-known American fursuiter. He was walking up the street. This is the middle of the major American city, in the business district. And I said to the reporter, I said, watch that guy, watch, he's gonna go around the corner. And this lady, she was a business person. She had the nice hair and the little, business dress and all. She looked very, very professional, right? And she came around the corner, she had her head down. She was down like this, and she ran into Tony, and she stepped back, and Tony did this. And she ran up and she hugged him, and she pulled out her phone, and she asked the person passing, take a picture, and she stepped back with Tony and get the picture. And I said, do you see that? Look at that. That lady was probably having a really bad day. Her boss yelled at her, she had a lot of work to do, she had deadlines, there was pressure on her. She came around that corner and she ran into a 6 1/2 foot tall raccoon. For just a brief few seconds, she was happy, she was joyful, she was smiling, it made her day. She felt good. That's what we do.
I'm almost out of bum.
And it's almost 12 o'clock.
I know.
That's what it says, 12 o'clock.
It's almost,
Holy shit, it's midnight.
it's almost 18 o'clock.
No, it's midnight.
It's 18 o'clock,
Oh, wait, sorry.
18 o'clock.
This is my Philadelphia clock.
Ladies and gentlemen,
No, wait, don't leave.
why not?
I can't do this myself.
Sure you can, it's your show.
No, dude, I can't follow your act.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
Better.
I have to.
Better.
To the Ranting Gryphon, ladies and gentlemen.
I was introduced, and until this point, this has been my stage and then our stage, and I'm going to leave you, ladies and gentlemen, with Uncle Kage. Please give him a warm welcome.
For that, we apologize.
And thank you very much.